Good morning. And we're also asking everyone to please silence their cell phones for the service. Thank you so much. And if you'll open your hymnal to the front. Okay, again, good morning. Good morning. And please silence your cell phones. If you look in the front of the hymnal, we'll read the Unity Statement of Being. There is one presence and one power in this church, in our lives, and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. And our 5 unity principles. 1. God is absolute good, everywhere present. 2. God lives in us, therefore we are inherently good. Number 3. We are co-creators with God and create our experiences through our thoughts. Number 4. Prayer is creative thinking that heightens our connection to God-mind. Number 5. It is not enough to simply know these principles. We must live the truth we know. And if you'll stand and sing hymn number 2. The Lord's Prayer.
Go into that inner room and close the door. So I invite you to move inwards depths of who you are. The very depths of your inner being. There's so much that is within you. That is awaiting expression. That is waiting to be birthed through you. You are limitless. There is no end to where you may go within. There's so many undiscovered worlds. So many beautiful mysteries. So many hidden potentials. That await. As you begin to gradually discover them, you find yourself transformed. For what comes forth through their discovery greater versions, greater expressions of you. Waiting to bless this world, uplift this world. This world that you are one with. That is one with you. Separation is an illusion. There is only oneness. There's only one. I invite you to experience that oneness, that interconnectedness. That you have with all that there is. Begin to explore freely that which is within you. Knowing that that which is within you is eternal. It is causal. It is principle. It is the real world. That sources everything that manifests in your life. So be still, my brothers and sisters. Be still and know who you are. Allow that innermost knowing to be your guiding star. To be the origin from which you express. To be the source from which you demonstrate. Enjoy these beautiful moments. And know that you need do nothing. Know that being is all that there is. Being is the foundation from which all things flow. That all things, it includes activity or doing. All those things are secondary. Being is causal. So as we are enjoying these beautiful moments, of tranquility, peace, know that it is my intention to align my consciousness with spirits. invite my brothers and sisters here to join me in that intention. In this process of creation, for our minds are already joined. So join me in the intention of bringing forth something new. That's something new that has an end result of raising consciousness. Whatever the content of that something, we will leave that to spirits. But it's time to relinquish to the greatest of us, and that is spirits, to the highest of us. And allow the power of spirit to express and to use our intention in order to bring about transformation of consciousness. And so join me in gratitude. Gratitude that it is already done. For we walk with the certainty of spirit that never fails. That always uplifts. Supports. It takes everything and renews it, regenerates it, uplifts it. So let us just feel that gratitude. Allow spirit to do the heavy lifting. Let us feel that gratitude. For this message. And for this intention. And for bringing forth the new. In the name after the loving nature of principle. Of spirit. And so it is. Amen. Everyone, please stand, and you all should have received an insert that has Lift Every Voice and Sing. If you didn't, maybe your neighbor has it. Lift every voice and sing. Everyone, please stand. How's everybody doing this Sunday? Good. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. We were closed for 2 weeks. For those of us that didn't know, they don't know that. And I was, did anyone see some of the live stream only services? Okay. Did anyone enjoy it? Yeah. It was a challenge. It was a challenge. I had to visualize you all here. Because, you get the energy. You have to get that energy. And I said, how am I going to do that? I mean, I get the energy of my brothers and sisters to hit me. What if I didn't? So I had to get creative with it. Yeah. So, it's good to have you back. So the name of my talk is United We Stand. We've heard that many times. United We Stand. This is Black History Month, Black Heritage Month. And this is a month-long celebration. But this particular Sunday, we're going to honor some of the lessons that we've learned from our brothers and sisters who have contributed to all that we've experienced. Because Black History Month is not just for one group of people. It's for America. It's for all of us. Because there's so many lessons, so many powerful things that we can extract from it. And in case there's anybody that doesn't know that there's really no such thing as like different races. There's really no such thing. It's not supported by science. And I've said this up here before. It's a social construct. We are brothers and sisters, all of us. All of us. And so, what we're being called to do is focus on something other than the material, than the external. Than what it seems like. The Bible is filled with all sorts of passages where it's like, don't be deceived. It talks about how things seem. It seems this way, it just seems this way. And we go through things in life where we experience situations and things like that. And it seems a certain way, it seems that way. And if it seems that way, if we follow that the way it seems, we find ourselves being impacted and limited by how it seems. It's only when we're able to get past how it seems, when we're able to see something else. Maybe we can't even see it. Maybe it's unseen. And maybe we can anchor onto that we're able to overcome what we see and that what seems. We're able to tap into a greater power, a greater truth. And so that's what this is about. United we stand. Because our ancestors, they had to learn that. They had to. Black History Month is so complicated. I get a joy and what do I say? I have this joy and anxiety at the same time when I'm about to talk about Black History Month. Yeah, because it's that complicated. You see. On one hand, there's so many things to be grateful for. Because we've come a long way. All of us. This country has come a long way. This world has come a long way. We've come a long way. And we got a lot more way to go. A lot more way to go. So, I talk about United We Stand because, that's the only place in time that we actually have real power. You see, people that are not united are people with no voice. People with no voice are people with no power. It's only when we're united, we're together, we stand fast together in spite of those differences, in spite of whatever the seeming is, that we're able to accomplish and bring forth truly phenomenal things. That is the only time we're able to move past those seeming limitations, those seeming insurmountable things, we all come together. You know, our African brothers and sisters who were enslaved, they had one singular focus: freedom. They wanted freedom. These were our people. They wanted freedom. But not all of our people saw it as such, saw them as our people, you see? Not all of our people back then saw them as our people. They saw them as a them. Maybe they saw them some kind of other way. But there were a few. There were a few that were able to see that, you see? And they saw something different, you see? Even though the status quo at that time, you know, slavery was $1 trillion, or what would be today, $1 trillion industry. It was huge. It was so powerful, it was greed. It was basically greed. You know, it divided the entire country. It was that powerful. It had that much of a lure. You see? And so it took a lot. It took a lot of coming together in order to overcome even that part of Black History Month, you see? It took our brothers and sisters in, for example, Religious Society of Friends, better known as the Quakers, who saw something different back then, you see? They saw something different. They saw something different. And see, when I keep focusing on what you see, because our demonstrations are based on how we see. Our demonstrations are the equivalent of the power and illumination of our realizations. Our demonstrations are the equivalent of the power and illumination of our realizations. So what did I just now say? Everything that we demonstrate, everything that we demonstrate in life, it comes first from a seeing. From a seeing ourselves there, from a seeing this possibility, a seeing it. So what did our brothers and sisters back then see? What did our Quaker brothers and sisters back then see? They saw injustice. That's what they saw. They saw injustice. And so they were some of the first abolitionists that began to work together in different ways. Some with the government, some with conductors of the Underground Railroad, in all sorts of different ways. United we stand. In order to overcome this $1 trillion industry of slavery, free labor, there was even boycotting. We don't even know about that. There's not too much that we see in the history books about that. They even boycotted the products of slave labor. They arranged that around 1811. Yeah. Any way they could. And so this was not just yes, we had our enslaved brothers and sisters. They wanted freedom. And they deserved freedom, you see? But it also took a concerted effort of coming together. And see, that's when we can do truly phenomenal things. Fast forward that. The Civil Rights era. That was less about greed and more about separation consciousness now. You know, separation consciousness just found a new haven, found a haven to be in. And I said this here before, I said, even if we were all the same color, every single one of us the same color, now not a difference in us, just a complete same color, separation consciousness would drive us apart. Same thing. We just find a new haven to fall within, a new place. And so what will create separation consciousness is when we're focused on the external, we're focused on the appearance of things, and then we start making judgments of it, you see? And so that starts driving us apart, you see? We start making judgments. We start making comparisons. We start wanting to classify and things like that, create hierarchies. And so we're not aware we're really enslaving ourselves. We're enslaving ourselves, all of us. Even the people that happen to be at the top of the hierarchies, they're enslaved too, you see? Because the people that are divided are people with no power, no voice, no change, no nothing. In the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verses 28, it reads, "For you are neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ." You see, they were attempting, back then when Paul wrote that letter, they were going through some things. They were going through some things in the church. And so he was attempting to get them to see past the differences, you see. It's the same thing. And to see common ground and create a symbol of inclusion so that they could all come together and overcome whatever it is that they were going through, which they were going through a lot back then. Just like, we're always going through things because, we're always going through things. There's always going to be something to go through. There's always going to be something to grow through. But how are you going to grow through it? You think you're going to grow through it by yourself? You think you're going to go through it with your tribe and things like that? You think you're really going to experience the maximum amount of transformation by just being in these comfortable confines that you're so familiar with, things like that? No. No, it's only through diversity. It's only through inclusion. You see, ideas are meant to merge. See, their ideas are raw materials. And all sorts of different groups, they have all these different ideas, these raw materials. And it's only when these raw materials begin to unite that we begin to merge these raw materials. Even though we don't know that's what we're doing, you see, we begin to reach new heights that we didn't even imagine when we were in our own little groups, you see. You can look at history over and over and see instances where there was a joining together where we overcame. Martin Luther King, when they marched, those people of all colors marching. Selma, those people of all colors getting beat down. But it was a united front, you see? And it translates, it sent shockwaves through the country. Shockwaves through the country. Change had to happen, you see? It is only when we come together that change happens. It is only when we come together that we can really see what the Bible talks about the kingdom of heaven and how all things are achievable and things like that. It is only when we come together. It's not when we are apart in our separate environments. No. It is not when we subject ourselves to separation consciousness, which tries to find holes here and there in order to hide and continue to spread its poison and keep us under its thumb and keep us in prison. Everybody with me? Okay. So, things like race, class, and there's more. These are social constructs of imprisonment. That's what they do. They imprison us. They're social constructs of imprisonment. Because when we subscribe to them, that's what they do. I need to set my timer. I don't know how long I've been talking. I was just going away, All right, so here we go. Let's start now. I guess I've been talking for about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe 10. Who knows? I don't know. All right. So I want you to look around. I want you to look at the person you're sitting next to. I want you to look at the other person that you're sitting next to. Take a good hard look at them. Okay? Underneath, behind those eyes, is you. I remember when I was a kid, and I was at this church, and I was in YOU, we were upstairs, and we were practicing. We were practicing for a puppet show. And I don't remember doing the puppet show. I think I missed that Sunday when we actually did the puppet show for the adults in here. It was like a special time that we went back there and did the puppet show and stuff like that for all the adults and stuff like that. But we were practicing up there. And so I bring that up because, and I was thinking about, do I really want to, bring this up? Do I really want to say this? I was, really kind of weighing out. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Let me say this right now. Okay? What you are is spirit. Okay? That's who you are. That is your original self. If you think that you are your body, if you think that you are this or, your body, then we're doomed. You see? We're doomed. We might as well go, leave here, leave church, and go party like it's 1999 because we're doomed. You see, these bodies are going to expire. You see? These bodies are gone. They have an expiration date. You see? So, when you want to identify as the body, you want to sit and just identify as the body, but at the same time you want to believe in life after death. Okay, so what's going on here? If there's life after death, then that obviously means that there's something that transcends the body, you see. You are spirit. You are consciousness. You are spirit and you are consciousness, which pilots that body, which animates that body. Okay? I don't want to talk about that because some people get a charge, because they have a lot invested into the body, you see. A lot invested into it, The body is everything to them, They do so much, want to keep it healthy and things like that, It's like a vehicle. That's what it is. It's a vehicle. And when you want to invest in that seeming you, that what you think is you, that seeming you, okay, that's just basically investing in more separation. That's all it's doing. Because all you're going to do, your mind is naturally going to make comparisons with this seeming you and that other seeming person or whatever, that's seeming. It's just going to make comparisons. That's just going to basically just create and contribute to separation consciousness. That's all it's going to do. That's it. That's it. You are not your body. I am not my body. You are spirit. You are consciousness. You are eternal. You have no end. You had no beginning. I don't get into the whole reincarnation conversation. I don't do that because I like to focus on what's going on right now. Okay? You are eternal. Let's keep it that way. You are eternal. And so, why is it that you chose to come the way you came, or how you came the way you came? I mean, that's irrelevant. All that's irrelevant. You have a purpose to serve, you see? There's a purpose for you to serve. That's it. And trust me, That purpose is not staying in your lane as far as being separate and attacking another you, which is really you within the unseen you. It's really you, but it's in another body, you see. It's another consciousness in another body, you see. But it's really you because there is only one, you see. There's only one spirit, you see. There's only one spirit. There's only one spirit. And so, see, when I was putting this talk together, I was like, Spirit, how do we sow the seeds to begin to get people to understand? Because, you see, when we come together, it seems like we're always coming together when there's something happening. When we come together, it's always some sort of big something happening. Like slavery or, civil rights or, a hurricane or whatever. That's when you see people just forgetting all about the differences. You see people forgetting about how people vote. You see people forgetting about all of that. When there's something looming, there's something big happening, or then people, they don't even worry about that stuff anymore at that point. And you really see some beauty happening. When we had Hurricane Harvey, I wasn't here for Hurricane Katrina. But we had Hurricane Harvey when I was in Houston. I saw so much diversity as far as people coming together and helping people. I was so proud of that city. I mean, I couldn't have been more proud of a city. I was even more proud than, when the Astros won. I was so proud of that city. I was like, oh my God. My chest was just expanded. I just can't even explain it. But there had to be something happening for that to happen. You see, there was a hurricane. People were in peril. Why is it that, when that's happening, then we just forget all about that, and then all of a sudden we move into our best self then? Why can't we just move into our best self? Why? Because it's where we see ourselves, you see. Our demonstrations are the equivalent of the power and illumination of our realizations of where we see ourselves and how we see ourselves, you see. So I say all that because something, there's so many opportunities now for us to come together, you see. So many opportunities. And it doesn't have to be a big something happening for us to come together, for us to unite. It doesn't have to be a big something, but we do have to see it though, you see. We do have to see it. We do have to understand that this is really us. We have to understand that there was a oneness. How do we experience that oneness? See, oneness, that's another word. That's another word that we talk about all the time in unity. Oneness. Well, but we talk about it, but we don't really have this context of what oneness is. Because if we really had this intimate understanding of oneness, trust me, you would see all sorts of unity. You would see unity everywhere. You wouldn't see the finger pointing. You wouldn't see any of those things, you see. You wouldn't see any of those things. So I understand we don't really have a context of what oneness really means. This is why this is why this talk, I talk to Spirit, and I was like, Spirit, this is what we need to do. Help me, Spirit. This is a beautiful community. And there are beautiful seeds to plant. And then they will go about their business. And I'm not here to be invested in how those seeds begin to flourish, But I know that there's the work of Spirit being taking place right here, right now, as we're beginning to conceptualize our oneness, to be able to entertain the idea that we are not our body. We are not our body. And so if we're not our body, then that's what that means. That means that our brothers and sisters, they're not their body either, you see. And so when we find ourselves, arguing or attacking and things like that, we're really just attacking our brother or our sister. That's what we're attacking. We're attacking us. That's what we're attacking. And begin to come from that place of seeing oneself, being one with others. And then just imagine all of the beauty that we'll be able to behold, all the magnificent manifestations and miracles that we'll see take place, all the things that we can overcome. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Let's get right to it. It takes a mindset. It takes a mindset. And in mindsets, it takes a willingness. And the first thing I'll say, it takes a willingness to look past physicality. It takes a willingness to look past the external seeming. It takes a willingness to look past that. I understand. We're not saying that you have to do like this. We're not saying that you have to pretend. But it takes a willingness to discard it and see that there's something else there. You see, whatever that something else is, move all of the whatever that you see, the lights and the sounds, and move all that out the way and see something else there. See, that's what it actually takes. It actually takes a willingness to see something else, the unseen of it all. It takes that. That's what it takes. To not be so caught up in the physical. And the physical then brings on our judgments. And with the judgments, then we have our separation. Comparisons and things like that. And this is twofold. This is really twofold. Even though I have to list it one by one, this is really twofold because it takes a willingness to see spirits. To see spirits. To see it, to perceive it, to experience it. It takes a willingness. It takes a willingness. And I've already said, when you have that willingness, you as a divine being, you bring forth, you call forth experiences in the universe. You call forth people and experiences and situations and circumstances that will make what you are willing a possibility. Willing to experience a possibility. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how to experience oneness. You don't have to know how to experience or experience spirit or see spirit or see something other than the physical. No, just be willing. That's it. Just be willing. Just be willing. And you will make it possible. And the next thing, it takes a willingness to listen to your heart. To listen to your heart. You see, the heart has that superior intelligence. It has a superior intelligence. It's so far beyond the mind. The mind is the one that's responsible for all the comparisons and stuff. It's the one that's responsible for all of the evaluations and things. I'm not saying just to not have your mind be there, but allow there to be more attention also placed on your heart. On what is going on in your heart. What does your heart tell you, you see? What does your heart tell you? Because your heart's not going to steer you wrong. Your heart is more aligned with spirit, you see? Your heart is more aligned with spirit. Everybody follow me? Okay, all right. And so see, when you are willing to do these things, when you are willing to listen to your heart, you will find yourself, you will find that, the things that you once had an allegiance to, or the narratives that you once subscribed to, like the narrative, like, for example, if you are a conservative or if you're a liberal, there's narratives in each one. There's narratives, okay? So if you listen to the media, there's narratives about the other side. There's all sorts of narratives, all sorts of finger pointing. You find yourself pulling away from those narratives, though, you see. You won't be listening to those. You won't be paying those narratives any mind, you see. You won't find yourself paying attention to borders and territories as far as countries and things like that. You realize that your brothers and sisters are your brothers and sisters. It's not about, if you're in this country or that country or something like that. No. If someone just happened to be born in this, it's okay. And you'll see yourself seeing things from that perspective. You'll see a higher truth. This is how spirit sees things. And you are spirit. See, that's it. You are spirit. That is who you are. You are spirit. You are not who you think you are. If you think you are that body or that reflection or whatever it is, no, you are not that. You are spirit. You will begin to see new truths. You will find yourself guided by new paths. You will see yourself guided by love, you see. You will see when you find somebody on the street or something, someone who you once used to look at with like some sort of contempt, like they were less than you or something, you will find a whole new paradigm. You will see a whole different person then at that point, you see. You won't see that person, you see, and you will come from that place of that love, you see. And see, that's what this world needs. That's what we need. We don't need more of that other stuff. That's what we need. is about united we stand. So in order to really unite, we have to see ourselves united. We have to see ourselves first. It's when we see ourselves that dictates our demonstration, you see? It's when we see ourselves that everything else comes from that. It's when we see ourselves. Everybody follow me? All right, well, I got an affirmation. All right. Everybody repeat after me. Spirit guides my way in love, unity, and peace. Spirit guides my way in love, unity, and peace. Let's say that one more time. Like we really mean it though. Spirit guides my way in love, unity, and peace. Spirit guides my way in love, unity, and peace. Amen. Let me say this. There are so many beautiful, wonderful things that you can do when you see yourself. When you see yourself as far as in the origin, when you see yourself and see the possibilities for yourself, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that so many differences that you can make, being a change agent, a transformational change agent. You literally can impact and shift consciousness in this world if you see yourself that way. You see, if you see it. Go and be that light, brothers and sisters, that your Father, Mother, God intended for you to be. Thank you.
Now is the time for our tithes and offerings. And we'll bless our offerings. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is so now. Our announcements for today are that electronic giving is at the front desk in the lobby. Copies of today's service are available on CD at the front desk. There are prayer chaplains available for one-on-one confidential prayer, and the prayer chaplains will move to the front of the sanctuary after our service. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook. Next Sunday, on the 25th, February 25th, Reverend Mary Beth will be delivering the Sunday message. And is everyone signed up for the newsletter? If not, please see a member of the welcome team and they will hand you a card to fill out so you can receive our newsletter. And are there any visitors today that would like to stand up or sit down and say hello? Hi, do you want to tell us your name?
Yeah, sure. My name is Glenn Ramos. This is my wife, Lisa. We're from Gulfport, and we're visiting today.
Great, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else that, okay. So next, okay, oh my goodness, okay. My name is Susie Miller-Abear. I'm a member of the board and a member of the welcome team, if you have any questions. And now we're going to do our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. The Lord watches between me and thee, while we are absent one from the other, and helps us to know that we are all one in spirit through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So if everyone would stand for our song of peace.